So anyway, so how do we apply the rhythm to the... Well, basically what we're going to be doing is, until we get to this part, we're going to be going... If you were to play it straight up, it would be... So it's a... It would be 2 hits on each note. But as we're playing over those notes, it's not giving equal weight to both hits. So it's not... It's more... It's giving more emphasis to the backbeat. Now, remember when I was saying in the beginning that on the rhythm we're going to be going... Well, that comes in when you're playing this rhythm because I'm emphasizing both the opening note and this note. And so that's where the whole kind of hitch in your step gets. Alright, now there's a couple of key things going on here in terms of muting that make this sound the way that it does. While I'm playing on the low string, I've got my fretting hand, this finger, resting on all of the bottom string. And as soon as I move up to the A string, my thumb is now muting the low E string, and I still have the underside of this finger muting all the rest of these strings while I fret notes on the A string. So while I'm playing the E string, I'm kind of backing my thumb off a little bit. But as soon as I move up, my thumb moves over, and I start fretting notes on the A string with these fingers. Meanwhile, the meat of these fingers rests on all the other strings. Now when I get up into the same is true when I move up. Now when I get to the D string, my fingertip of my index finger, as I'm fretting these notes, is kind of muting out the A string. Meanwhile, my thumb is over the top, almost connecting with my fingertip here. And if you watch Stevie's hands, he's very efficient. He doesn't move his fingers apart very much. Alright, so that's just, you're going to be doing a lot of muting of whatever string you're not playing. So if you're playing the G string, you've got the bottom side of your finger muting these notes, and you've got your other fingers. See, I'm playing all these bottom string, but I've got these 2 fingers resting on them. I've got my thumb resting over the top, so they don't ring out and rake all the strings. And the G string is the only one that's fretted. That, combined with the picking that I was showing you, staying on these bottom strings. So, that should give you a solid overview of the notes to play and kind of how to apply them. But now we get to the best part of this lesson, which are the little tricks which make this so awesome when Stevie played it, that I think sometimes are missing from tabs that you might find. And, well, let's take a look at them one at a time. The first one is, when you're playing the opening pattern, it's kind of deceptive to say that you go right from the open E to this note, because he actually does a little roll here. And again, it doesn't matter if you're playing Rude Mood or whatever. the two. This one picks up a little bit more momentum as you're playing it. So this makes it a little bit tougher to play, so I recommend starting out without it and just playing straight up. And then when you get used to playing it, and that hammer on just kind of happens in the course of doing everything else. Now the reason a lot of people miss this is that it's very hard to detect on the album version, and there's not too many recordings of Stevie playing Rude Mood live, but I had to go back to an acoustic version of him playing it, and I definitely saw when he was playing it the little rolling action going on there. And so that's the telltale sign right there. Now, that's not to say that he did that every time, but it's definitely an element that he used in there a lot of the time to give it a little extra fullness. Alright, let's move on to secret number 2, and that is that when you get to this part, we kind of back off from the accent on the backbeat that we have been doing. That kind of sounds like with a little bit of in the middle. When we get to this part, we even out the accent. And that's when your picking has to get a lot more precise. So when you're picking that part, you'll be zoning in right on those strings. So again, if you can hear the difference, listen right here. There we're bringing out both hits. So that's the second trick. And then the third trick is again on the very last one. And he made it much more pronounced on this. A little roll there. So the first trick is to do this roll as part of the routine rhythm. The second trick is to accent both hits on the notes when you're walking up on that last part when we're going from the to the 5 chord. And then on the final one. So those are a couple of tricks that give this song kind of the edge that Stevie had when he played it. Well, there you have it. That is some good basics and some kind of advanced pointers for using this boogie style rhythm, whether it be for Rude Mood or a song like Bayou Boogie, which again is one of my favorite uses of this boogie rhythm. And if you know of a song that uses this boogie style rhythm for guitar, post a comment about it, whether you're watching on Stevie Snacks or on YouTube, so that other people can go out and find songs that use this style and kind of practice along with those and maybe pick up some things from those songs as well. Thanks for watching.